Hey guys, welcome back to my summer budget update. It's kind of a nightmare and a disaster when it comes to savings, all wrapped up in one, but I'll get to that at the end. So first off, let's go through May and June and how we did with actually sticking to our categories. As you know, food is kind of always the one where we really kind of struggle, and I know it's the same way with most of you guys as well. So thank you for sticking with me anyways and cheering me along. In May, I was able to get our grocery budget down very close to where I wanted it, but we did go over by 96 euros, $112. And that's not pretty, but it's okay, because as you know, I mentioned in a previous video that we come from a higher grocery bill and we're just slowly, gradually trying to get it down. So this month has definitely been one of the better months, and I'm actually really proud, even though we did go over. Takeaway was over by 30 euro, $34. So that's okay. I think that's doable. It's not ideal, but it's okay. Our transportation category did go over by a little bit because we had a tire bill come in. So we had to get new tires for the car that we bought in February because we had to change to summer tires, I guess. One of those tires we didn't have, so we had to go out and get them, but I was able to kind of even it out with April because we didn't spend our transportation budget during that month. I do my budget numbers calculated on averages, so if we don't spend the whole category one month, then we have that available for the next month. And I put my averages in on what I know that we've spent during the last year, 2 and 3 years in some categories. So some categories have been tested really well, and I know that transportation budget is right at where it should be, so I'm not that concerned about that one. In June, both groceries, Morton's pocket money, my pocket money, Max's money was all on point. Yay! Can we get a little hooray going on? I don't think that that has happened at all at any month this whole year. So this would be the first month we were actually on point and we didn't overspend at all in any of them, which is awesome. And I finally made the grocery bill come down, and I made it down to what I wanted, my target goal. I made it down there and I stuck with it. So that is pretty cool. Takeaway was over by 48 euros, $55, which I'll just have to keep a rein on it in July. What can I say? We like food. And we did go on several road trips. We went to southern Jutland. I have videos from there if you want to watch them. And we went to Fenny, an island close by. And some of the food we bought on that road trip actually goes into the takeaway category. So I can live with overspending 50 bucks. Miscellaneous was over by 17 euros, $20, which is okay as well, because keep in mind we do have categories this month as well that are under budget. So 17 euros is not gonna break the bank. Miscellaneous is kind of that weird category that's kind of a catch-it-all, and I'm still trying to figure out how much to actually put in there. But I'll share my experiences with miscellaneous when I get closer to the end of the year, I think. We went on 2 trips, as I mentioned, and we took the money from there out of our savings fund for vacations. So that did not break the bank either. We do have 2 more trips coming up during the summer, and one of them we've already paid for, and then we have another one, but we have the money in our vacation fund for those trips. So that's really, really good. And I'm actually really happy to see that we can stick with our lower travel budget, because I think we cut our travel budget for this year down to 1/3 of what we usually spend. So I'm really interested in seeing when the year is over, how did we do with a travel fund this size? Because this year we're just going on a lot of smaller trips, not as many expensive flights internationally and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting when we come to December and January. One thing that's kind of mind-boggling to me is that we spent 147 euros, that's 171 US dollars, on gifts in June alone. There was a wedding, an anniversary celebration with my aunt and uncle, a graduation party, and a baptism. So all of those piled together is just a lot of money. And I know that August and September are gonna be kind of the same. I think I need to adjust the amount that we're saving up for gifts right now, because I can just tell that it's gonna be higher than it is usually because we have a lot of things going on this year. And that's fine, but I just need to adjust to it so it doesn't ruin my budget, because that is not very nice. And we don't want that fund to be completely depleted when we get to December and do our Christmas shopping. And now to the disturbing bad news of this whole year to me. We had our final tax numbers come in, and let me just tell you, it was not pretty. Obviously, it's a good thing when you need to pay taxes because it means that you made more than you thought you would, which is awesome. But we had to pay a lot, and we had to completely empty out our savings account. There's just a fat zero, or a very skinny zero in our account right now, which is kind of depressing. But Morten and I, we just looked at each other, we're just like, okay, there were things that we're not on top of in 2017, and already by the beginning of 2018 we hired someone to do it for us this year, because we know that that is not our strongest area. We're more of the creative people and doing all those things, and we've been doing it and it's been fine, but we're not super good at staying really on top of it. So there were a few things that went wrong, and please don't get all judgmental in the comments. I know this is a very personal thing to put out on YouTube, and obviously that's my choice to share it, but please be kind. There were several different factors in it that just made the number go up, and some of them we could have foreseen, of course, and we should have done a better job, so we totally take responsibility for that, but there were also a few things that we just didn't see coming. So in all, we just agreed, Morten and I, that 0 is a very pretty number, right? We have a clean slate now, but it means that we just need to adjust our savings goal for this year. So we're halfway through the year. I cut the budget saving goal in half, and then it'll just count from now until the end of December. And then I'll find peace of mind knowing that we hired someone to stay on top of this so it does not happen again. I do not like to be surprised like that and have my savings completely wiped out. We still have our emergency account and all that stuff. We paid for our car cash, so there's no problems whatsoever. It's just very defeating and frustrating and sad and stupid. Yeah, all of those things. So I was gonna share my saving art chart with you guys this time, but there's nothing to fill in it before we hit the July budget. So we'll just have to stay tuned for that one and get it in the next video. But to kind of round things off, I just wanted to say I reached the goal. I stuck to the goal with groceries, and we did not go over budget in our pocket money. I did not spend too much money on Max, and we have our vacation fund. So we actually paid for the vacations already, which is awesome. Anyways, that's my update for this time, and we'll see you guys in 2 months for another update. And in that one, you better be sure I'll be coloring in some bricks because it's about time. See ya, bye.